are ready.
And we are back in the FOX43 kitchen, ready to go. Yanni is plating up something good for us on a Wednesday, of course. Always is, right? So what do we got cooking
I
here?
try to, at the very least. So right now, while our starches are coming together, our rice and our quinoa. All right, you guys are going to sample some of the lamb chop, some of the steamed broccoli, and of course that grape reduction that we were making. I want to make sure y'all get a grape. All right, I don't want to stiff you on your grape. All right.
You maybe on grape duty?
No. Grape duty's over. All right. Okay, so forks, who's got them? Do you all have forks? All right, Miss Jackie. Here we go. Mr. Jacob.
Oh, thank you.
All right, and really just, you know, of course, we got the starches coming, but let's focus in on the protein and that way that grape reduction complements the lamb. Jackie, if you could.
What a flavor combination.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is so nice. Not too sweet, but just gives it enough of that flavor. Yeah, this is a really interesting combo. I love it.
Yeah. Anytime you're making a reduction, I always recommend incorporating orange, lemon, and the acidity from them complements the sweetness of whatever you're using. I use local honey and brown sugar, but the main component of that was the grape and the natural flavors that come out of the grape. So if you know that, how can you enhance the flavor of what you're making? So as a grape reduction, how can you enhance something with fruit, add some sweetness to help move it along? Give it a couple fruit friends, you know what I mean? The lemon,
well, and I love
orange.
that you roasted the grapes first. I never would have thought of that.
Yes, that's another good point.
That made them amazing.
That extracted a lot of flavors in that pan, and then we rubber spatulaed every last morsel into our reduction over here. When I put those grapes in, light seasoning with a little bit of salt and pepper. That just, you know, that probably you could put that on anything that you're cooking. That's all I did. From fresh thyme on my grapes. And that was all I did, fresh seasonings-wise. A little bit of fresh thyme when the grapes went in the oven. And then it all came together there. And speaking of beautiful things, I mean, look at this. You talk about refreshing. Let's see if I can get it. The Grape Gatsby.
Yep. And I love this. We were talking about it is National Grape Day, so this is a twist. Typically, when you think that, you're thinking wine. Why be? I don't know the word.
Yeah,
why be?
Why be exclusive to wine?
Why be?
Open up your
not boring,
mind.
right? Why not open
Let
up
all
your palate?
options flow through. Hey, Jacob?
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
speaking of wine, you know what I kind of like about this too? They always say if you're eating red meat, you should pair with a red wine. And this dish together, I feel like the flavors kind of explode in a nice way.
does.
Where the lamb and the grapes kind of go together nice. They taste really, really good.
This is so good.
That way, you know, you save the calories and the wine on this drink instead. You kind of still get that flavor profile.
What if I eat a gigantic loaf of bread, though,
No, I was
before
going to say,
eat this
and then you got to get the bread and then
Bread
the
does
cheesecake
not
after.
count.
What happens then?
Those calories don't count.
All right. Well, this will be on the menu
Dessert.
Friday. You can get the drink later today. That is going to do it for us. As always,
Memorial Day was on Monday.